Welcome again, guys. So in today's video we will gonna discuss the two basic functions, which is print and input function in Python. Then we will see that what is identifiers, like the variables, how you can define, because there are such rules to define the variables, right? Because Python is a case sensitive language, and yes, we do have some rules to define the variables, but we have some predefined keywords as well, which we cannot take as a variable, otherwise it will class, right? And then by the end of the video we'll see that what is the data types and how you can identify that what is the data type of a particular string or variable or a integer number. So if you want to see what type of the data type is, then there is a function called type function which we can use to identify the type of the data type. Alright, so let's start with the print and input function. Before that, let me just explain that what I have done is I have my Jupyter up and running. I hope you are using the same as well. I have created a dedicated folder for this where I will keep all the notebooks for my work, right? And at the end what we will do is we will upload it to our this Python fundamental GitHub, right? I will just place this URL in the video description, so that if you want to make it the practice from your end, probably you can just use clone and use it, right? So here what I have done is I have created this folder, I have opened that folder, and from the new I just created a new notebook and it gave me a new notebook, right? Let me just rename it. So I will just say that maybe let's say variables, right? Variables dot this one. So that's done. Here you can see here also it is getting renamed, right? So let's start. So in previous video we have seen that we were using some print functions, right, where we will just doing some uh, message and it is printing for us, right? So same way that print is a say as the name suggests, right, it is just to print something, whether you are just directly give some string or you are taking it from the user input, or you are taking it from that variable, or you are extracting from that other input, whatever, right? Print is something just to print something on the screen, right? Here you can see that we have the multiple ways to print the variables value and everything, but that we will not see today. It we will see in the next video, right? So this is the print function, right, which we can just give, right? Let me give you one example. If I'll say a equal to 10 and b equal to 5, right? What I want to print is I just want to print a plus b. Fine, I'll just give so say here what is happening is we are assigning a 10 value to the variable called a, then we are assigning a 5 to the variable called b, and then we are just printing the sum of this, right? But you don't know what is this 15, right? Like if you want to be more specific here, right, so what we can do is we can just simply say print. If you want to print some message, right, make sure that you will do it in double quotes, right? You can say the result of a and b is, and you can just simply then do a plus b. Fine. So here you can see you have some kind of descriptive message. So what I want to try to mention here is if you want to print some message inside your print statement, right, which is not defined somewhere, right? So you need to, or you must have to define in some double quotes, maybe single quotes or triple quotes, right? Yeah, there is a difference between double quote, single quote and triple quotes. Maybe we will discuss that as well in some other video, but here you can see that, right? But there is one problem with this code. Here what we are doing is we are hard coding these values, right? But I don't want to be hard code these values. What I want is I want these values to be accepted from the user, so that whatever the value user will provide, the result will be based on that, right? So for that we have something called input function, right? So as the name suggests, input, right? We are taking input from the user somehow, right? So let me just give you, let's say if I am just giving you a input, right, a equal to input, and I am just saying enter the first value, Okay, and see, the moment you print, it is giving me 5, right? And now if I'll print that A, so it will give you, okay, what is A, right? Yeah, you can print the variable value, especially in Jupyter, without print as well, right? It will do the same thing. Let's say if you say print A, that will also print the 5, but you can directly call the variable as well, right? So here you can see that enter the first value 5. Now similarly, what we will do is I'll just store this value in a different variable, and I will say enter the second value. And now it is asking me 7 value and done, right? So now you will see that we have the A value, we have the B value, right? Now we just want to simply print it. So let me take this whole code in one shell so that it will be easy for us, and simply then I will just print this message. Fine, let it run. So it's asking enter the first value, let's say 10, enter the second value, let's say 2, and the result is for A and B it is giving 102. Now you say, okay, 10 plus 2 must be 12, right? Why it is giving 102, right? There is something wrong. No, there is nothing wrong. Let me tell you, input function is accepting whatever the value you are giving, right, as a string, right? Like if I'll give you type A, so here you can see, right? Yeah, this is the way you can check the any data type of any of the value or variable, right? That's what that we were discussing here, right? Data type. So here you can see that it is giving me a string. Same way, if you do the same stuff for B, it is giving you a same string. So to add these, like to make the mathematics operator here, what we need to do is we need to convert this value to the integer, right? So for that, there is a beautiful uh, keyword called int, right? We'll just put it before input. So what it will do is it will accept the value whatever you are giving, right? And then it is, or what I will do is I'll not give here, I will just give it in different. Let me give 10 2, and here you can see, right, 12. So I'll give here, I will take the C, I'll take it as a D, and here I will say int, right? I will close the int section. Here also I will give the int, and here it is done, right? Now let's see, I'll give 10 2. Okay, there is something wrong over here missing. Still it is giving 102. We are giving this as a int equal to input, and we are see, there is a problem, right? Because it is printing A plus B still, and A and B, it knows that A and B are still a string value which is 10 and 2, right? So to be more specific, what we need to say is, okay, just print the value of C and D, right? Let's say 10 2, and this time we'll get the 12. So can you see the difference? If you will not specify any of the data type, right? So by default input function will take the value as a string data type, which we have seen here, right? Here you can see. And if you want to change that data type to any of the function like int, float, string, boolean, you need to specify that, right? So what this will do is this will convert the value whatever you are giving here from that data type to this data type. So in this case we are converting into the integer, right? So that's how we can do this. So this is a way to define the or to get the values in the integer format. So this was the print function, just to print anything. Input is something to get the input from the user, but by default it will take as a string, and if you want to convert it, then you need to convert like this. Alright, let's see what we have next. Identifiers, right? See, identifiers is something we have some rules to define the identifiers, right? So it should be kind of mm, start with alphabets and underscore only, right? You cannot start with some special symbol or any numerical value, right? It is a case sensitive. I'll give you example, and maybe it must be a single word, right? You cannot give like this, an apple. No, it will not accept. It will accept like this, right? It must be a single keyword. Yeah, and keyword, right? So keyword is not accepted. Keyword is not accepted as variable, or you can say identifier, right? Which is already predefined. Like we have the print, we have like type, right? So these are the some keywords. Maybe if we Google uh, keywords in Python, so you can see that, right? So these are the true, false, none, assert, await, def, elif, break, class, finally, from, global. So these are some predefined keywords which we cannot take as a variable, right? So these are some kind of rules we need to follow, right? So let's see, if you are giving a z equal to 2, right, and capital Z equal to 4, right? Let's say you are printing Z and Z, right? So here you can see it is printing 4 only, right? Yeah, there is one more thing in the Jupyter. If you want to print multiple statement from the single cell, right, then you have to use a print. Otherwise, what it will do is it will just print the last one. So now you can see it is printing both, right? But here, when we were giving only the variable name, it was just printing the last one. So you can see the case sensitive, right? Small z is was printing to, capital Z is was printing to 4. So that's what we can define, right? And let's say you will say Amit equal to hello, and if you say, so it is saying that invalid decimal literals, right? That means that you cannot start with the numerical, right? And let's say if you are doing like this, again if you are doing hello, then you can see invalid syntax, right? So what you can do is you can start with like this, or maybe I will take greet equal to hello, and if you print now, so you will have the hello value, right? Or maybe you can say like this, greet equal to hello. So like that you can define your keywords. All right, so that is the way like we can define the keywords, or maybe the variables, right? Similarly you can do this. So yeah, there is one more way, like what we can do is we can just define the variables, right? Let's say I would say a, or maybe I would say x, y, and g, right? And I will say 1, 2, and 3. What do you think, that it will give you a error or what? Or what we can do is, let me see like this. And if I'll say print x, print y, and print g. So here you can see. So what I'm doing is I am assigning a value to the variable, but that is the way like you can define, right? This is a kind of good thing. Like if you want to define some value, so it will gonna define that value in the same sequence you are defining, right? X will get the 1, y equal to 2.5, z equal to hello. So that way you can define it, right? And if you see the type of x, so it is int. Similarly, if you see the y, it will be float. Similarly, if you see the z, it will be string. All right. So that is how we can define the variables. That is how you can give the values to the variable, and this is the way like we can see or print the values, right? And this is the way we can get the values from the user, right? And the rules for the defined to the identifiers. All right. So I will just modify with some comments and everything with this notebook, and I will upload to our GitHub, right? So maybe you can just refer this later. So in next video, we're gonna discuss the operators, like what operators we have. So for today, I will take a pause here and hope you are liking my content. So please subscribe my channel, share it with your friends, colleagues, and yeah, hit the bell button if you don't want to miss any of the updates from our side. All right, then please take care and happy learning. Thank you. Bye bye.